Okay, we got it. Fine. So please take care of your background noise so that we can have the class smoothly. Okay. So this is understanding Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. And on behalf of ISKCON Radha Govinda Temple, Mangalore, I welcome you all for this course, which goes to run for 18 days. Okay. And let me see in the chat what you all have put in. First time, Nivedita Banerjee, fine. Third close from email, good. Coming for the first time. So Dr. Savita, second time. Thank you, Mataji, for the response. Okay, for all of you. So, Bhagavad Gita, 18 days, we are going to have, let's start our journey. And before that, let us pay obeisance to Sri Radha the Govinda. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Nanakashalakaya Chakshunmetam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vettam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakana Vittamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dino Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatrapyascha Kripa Sindhu Abhayevacha Patitam Nam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So this Mangalacharan is there in the Bhagavad Gita as it is book. You can always, whoever has it, we can check it. Okay. Hare Krishna. So first time Madhavi also is on the first time. So this course, whatever we are doing in this 18 days, is based on the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. So he is the founder Acharya of the ISKCON. Okay. And it's etiquette to understand who this person is and why we are going based our teachings on his. Okay. Sri Prabhupada Bhakti Vedanta, I like to introduce him because he's a great personality and he's the founder Acharya of our ISKCON. Okay. So this is the Ratha Yatra in San Francisco in July 1967. You can see how Prabhupada is having this Ratha Yatra in San Francisco in USA. How did this come up? It's not that it's the first time he's doing it in US. Okay, it's the first time he started it, but it was right from his young age. He was all the time in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Even at the age of 5, when he was small, when his father gave him a small Ratha, and he used to have it with his friends during the Rath Yatra, and all the neighborhood used to celebrate. So it is not the thing, it's the first time. And how did he get into this mission is by his spiritual master. He meets him at 1922, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. He is the first, his friend took him. He said, there's a nice spiritual master has come, we'll come and meet him. And Bhakti Vedanta, Prabhupada was not so eager to go, because he had seen many sadhus and all coming in his house and all that, he didn't have a great opinion. But he was taken to this spiritual master. So when the minute the master saw him, he said, why don't you're all educated? Why don't you all take up this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and preach Krishna consciousness to English-speaking people? He was taken aback. He was more focused on the freedom movement at that time. He says these things, political things comes on things but Chaitanya mission, Prabhu's mission is important. So that impressed him a lot, and he took it as his mission, and his whatever spiritual master, I think, accepted it. And throughout his life, he was focused on the order given by his spiritual master. And he was trying to start this movement even in India itself. He started and one more order was given by the master is to print, if we get money, to print print books on Krishna consciousness. Okay, so he started a magazine in India itself, and he had a business. He was a grahastha, okay, and he had a business, and he was trying to take off this movement here. And he had a Back to Godhead magazine, but it was going slow, and it had a lot of trouble in starting in India. In 1959, he was given this name, Swami Bhakti Vedanta, because of his knowledge on the Vedic scriptures and things. And then only he could get a chance to go to US only in 1966. That is when this late sex, he was quite old at that time, he was nearing 70s. And he went in a cargo ship, and what he had with him was just about $8. And he had a trunk full of Bhagavatam books, which he had translated from Sanskrit to English. Okay, that's all he took with him. And within a year, he was able to start the movement. Okay, and at that time when he went, it was a chaotic situation in US. People were all revolting because there was government was forcing them to participate in the Vietnam War, and there were youngsters all taken to hippies, and there was a lot of confusion and chaos. So at that time when he went there, he was able to take this mission forward, and all it was based on Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's all, the Sankirtan. And it took off. Within a year, he could start the movement. And he was able to even start the printing of books and translate it into more than 80 languages. And all this happened within 10 years. And he had 108 temples across the world. So that itself shows there's something in this scriptures. This is Bhagavad Gita, which he had. That's all these two. It's only these two scriptures which he propagated, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Okay. So, and these are the temples. He had, I think this is in West Virginia in US. This is in UK, London, Bhakti Vedanta Manor. And this is in Ukraine, ISKCON. But today, Ukraine, you see, that was a peaceful country. And today it is a lot of war is going on between it and Russia. So we can't expect any country to be in the same doing the thing. There will always be turmoil, conflicts, and things. This is in South Africa, Durban. And this is what is coming up in Mayapur. It's under construction. And we hope to be complete by 3-4 years. Okay. And within 10 years, he went in 6Y, right? But he was able to go across the world. Okay. You can just see.
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namide Vishnu Padaya.
So you see, he went across the thing within 10 years. He was able to worldwide movement, it could just took off, all because of, I think, and this, I think you can listen.
In Delhi, Bhaktivedanta Swami personally distributes copies of Back to Godhead and, with small donations, struggles to maintain the publication. He regularly sees Surendra Kumar Jain, a printer.
It was somewhere in the month of February 1956 that I first met Prabhupada. He came to my press for getting the magazine printed, Back to Godhead. I found that it was not very easy for him to collect money. He would come to the press practically every day, and after the printing was done, he would do everything himself. But he was a dedicated person, a very committed person. And at the times when he was not in a position to pay the bills, I would ask him, why are you running this? Why don't you stop it? He would say, no, it is my mission. And one day Surendra Kumar will see that I will succeed in my mission.
He moves to 100 West 72nd Street. 3 months later, his typewriter and tape recorder for translating are stolen. Bhaktivedanta Swami later said, I came to America risking my life. I was physically unfit and at the fag end of my days. Sometimes I did not know where to live, nor was I used to the severe cold. Seemingly, I was alone for 1 year, but I never felt alone. I always felt the presence of my spiritual master, so I did not lose my enthusiasm, despite all difficulties. Bhaktivedanta Swami arrived in America during a decade of discontent. There's widespread dissatisfaction with America's war in Vietnam, and with what some consider her racist, exploitative dealings at home and abroad. Disillusioned by the establishment, the youth create a counterculture of their own. Around the time Bhaktivedanta Swami came, waves of Americans are breaking away from the status quo, searching for an alternative. For a short time, Bhaktivedanta Swami lives in the Bowery in a loft given by a friend. Mukunda Goswami, who was attending his classes at this time, tells of their first meeting.
He wore very thick glasses and had a big Sanskrit book spread out before him. His voice was very deep and resonant. He spoke with great authority, and the Sanskrit shlokas he spoke were very beautiful, very melodious. He was obviously a very distinguished scholar, and I became very curious, almost astonished as to how someone of his stature, he looked very much like an aristocrat, could be living and residing in the Bowery, the Skid Row of New York. And afterwards, I approached him to speak. I was standing, and he was sitting on his small dais, so he was looking up at me, and he had the look of a very happy, innocent young child. And I could see that he actually had all the time in the world for me. He wasn't short of time. I asked questions, he would answer. Then after some time, he moved to a somewhat better neighborhood on 2nd Avenue. We helped him rent a small storefront there, and he had an apartment in the back. And within a few weeks' time, this little storefront on 2nd Avenue, on the Lower East Side of New York, which was then populated by thousands of young hippies, had been transformed into a beautiful Krishna temple.
In Delhi.
Okay, so you see, he just started this movement, right, with great struggle, and he was able to continue, establish it in 10 years. So you can just imagine that there is something in this Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? That's all he's preached, and Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So all that thing. So now this online classes is being done by our H.D. Nama Nishta Das Prabhu. He is the temple president, and through his service we are in today. Okay, we are based on teachings based on the Prabhupada's teaching. Okay, so let us begin. Bhagavad Gita is an epic scripture. It's not that it is, and it has answers to all our problems. It was considered a spiritual dictionary by Mahatma Gandhi, and it is a book of inspiration for many leaders across the planet. So, I mean, if this is one, I mean, it is a scripture, epic scripture means it's been there for the past 5,000 years. There's no other scripture, otherwise it would have been with dust and all that somewhere in corner, and nobody would look at it. And if you look at any other literatures or anything, it will be there for some 100 years or but nothing like Bhagavad Gita. It is there, and it is still relevant to our problems today also. So it has the answers to all our problems. Let us look into it. And even Mahatma Gandhi says it is a spiritual dictionary. And it is a book of inspiration for many leaders across the planet. Okay. And it is unique. Why? Because it was spoken in the battlefield 5,000 years. And it is a basic practical preaching book. It's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, and that it is still practical and still applicable to even today. Okay. And what does Mahatma Gandhi say? He says those who meditate on the Gita will derive fresh joy and new meanings from it every day. So that's what Mahatma Gandhi's statement. And here we have another statement by Einstein. I think all of you know Albert Einstein is a famous scientist, gave us this relative theory. When I read the Bhagavad Gita and reflect about how God created this universe, everything else seems so super. Even though he is a great scientist and he came up with Krishna. Can you stop the noise, please? Hare Krishna. Right. So everything else seems so superfluous. Fine. So why now? What is the book we are referring to? We are referring to Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is the book which we are referring, which is the translation given by Prabhupada. And why do we do that? Hare Krishna, can somebody mute everybody? I'm not able to. Yes. Okay. So, am I right? So, that's the thing. So, we are why we are using ISKCON's Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's because, suppose, for example, like we take our phone, mobile, you want to charge it. So you need to use a proper cable. Otherwise, there won't be any connection from the source to the thing. If it is a broken cable, there won't be any contact between the source and receiver, and you're not able to charge your phone. Same way, this the message which Krishna has given to Arjuna, and then it has first actually he has given it to Lord Brahma. Then from Brahma it had come to Narada, Narada to Vyasadeva. Then Vyasadeva has written it down in writing for us. And then it has come to so many acharyas down the line as a disciplic succession. And we have got it now through Prabhupada. So by disciplic succession, if you read the scriptures, then you get the message of Krishna properly. Otherwise, people, because Bhagavad Gita is so famous and so popular that everybody in the name of the thing want to write his own commentary, his own thing. So, and instead, we need to know what Krishna is saying, what is Krishna's thing, message, and not our interpretation, isn't it? So, we need to properly refer to the book which is come from as a brother broken chain of disciplic succession. That's why we refer to Bhagavad Gita as it is, where we are just saying what Krishna is telling to Arjuna, and what is the discourse going on. Okay. And then it is a vast book, and if we can't read, go through it in sloka by sloka, it will take at least 1 year, because it has got 700 slokas. So we don't go to any sloka wise. Okay. Hare Krishna, Sindhu Prabhuji. What is it, your question, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Sindhu. Okay. May I know what is your raised your hand, please? May I know what is it? Hare Krishna. Okay. So we have no question. Then my voice is echoing. I don't know how it is. Is it now also my voice is echoing? Hare Krishna.
No, it is not echoing.
Okay. So vast book, and we can't go in a system and study sloka by sloka, but we are going to do that only flow, give a gist of what is there between the discussion which is going between Krishna and Arjuna. So we don't go sloka by sloka, because it has 700 slokas, and every day we cover one chapter, and to give you the summary of it, what is the essence and what is the discussion between the Krishna and Arjuna. And why we have done this? This is to prepare one for a deeper study of Gita. See, initially you try to get to know about it in a nutshell. Then we have other courses where we can go in a step by step, deeper into it. Okay. So it's a 1 hour class chapter, and key aspects of each chapter is covered. After the chapter, we can have some questions. Of course, there is a quiz also. It is just to, any questions, when you have something, then you can at least focus on the important points in the chapter. That's all. Okay. And these are the level. We have level 2, level 3, Bhakti Shastri, higher and higher. We go deeper and deeper into it. Today, we are just doing the level 1 course, just to get the thing. And once you've started the spiritual journey and you want to know more about it, you want to, reflect on the things, on the philosophy, and you think, then we have other things where you can go deeper in it. Okay. This is our Shraddhavana. These are different steps we can take up, Bhakti steps. Okay. And these are the books which we refer to, Bhagavad Gita. You will get it in one shell by self-realization and Mala. You can get this. Okay. Okay. So we come back and we can start. So this is a brief introduction, and I didn't introduce myself. I'm Sujata Subhash. I've been in this with this ISKCON in the last 2 years. Okay. And I'm currently doing Bhakti Shastri course. So we start with the chapter 1. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. This is Arjuna's yoga of lamentation. So it starts with the lamenting by the Arjuna. He is going to tell what the reasons for not fighting. So we have 5 sections here. Beginning is the Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, who is he? Who is Dhritarashtra? Anybody know? Mahabharata. Who is Dhritarashtra? Yeah, is the Kauravas. Yes. Then we are going to see what is the fear by Duryodhana. And then we have blowing of conscience, then Arjuna's observation, and it is reasons not to fight. So this chapter is nothing but observing the armies on the battlefield. See, this is a scene where Bhagavad Gita was spoken, right? So we need to see the consequence. What is the situation? What is the scene on that? So the first chapter is about observing the armies on the battlefield. And we are going to look at the reactions of 3 important characters. Who are they? Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, and then Arjuna. Okay. And why he is not reluctant to fight. The reasons he gives to Krishna, why he wants to not to fight. So different reactions to the same scene by Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, and they. So, in any way, in all our life, there always be conflicts, isn't it? Conflicts in family, conflicts in countries, conflict with the office, conflicts are there. And what is the reason? So, we can't escape conflicts. And here is also, there's a conflict within the family. There's a fight between two cousins, that is Pandavas and Kauravas. And it is taking place at Kurukshetra. Okay. So it starts, the Bhagavad Gita starts with the first verse is by Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Now you have he is asking his secretary. Sanjaya is his companion come secretary, and he is asking him what is happening in Dharma in Kurukshetra. And Kurukshetra is nothing else, is a place of pilgrimage, Dharma Kshetra. And he is asking, what are my sons? Mamaka, what are my sons? And Pandavas are doing there. Okay. And why he is asking, Hare Krishna, yes. Why is he asking Sanjaya means because Sanjaya is being given a spiritual divine vision by Vyasadeva. So to see what is happening in the battlefield, sitting in the palace. Okay. So he is there in the palace with the king. And from here he can see what's happening on the battlefield. That's a divine vision he would have got. And he is able to, and he is narrating what all is happening to the king here. Kim Akurvata, he's saying. So what is his mentality? What is his situation? Let us look at that. Krishna said, "Oh Sanjaya, after assembling in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, what did my son and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight?" Of course, they have come to fight. Now he is quite worried. Worried is he is distinguishedly saying, "My sons and the sons of Pandu." So that is something which we need to look at. See, he is already distinguishing because he is right from the beginning. He was always partial to his sons. He never took care of his brother's children. Okay, when after the brother died, he was. So, first and foremost is the Dharma Kshetra, and then he's saying Mamaka Pandava is being very distinguished thing, and we need to know what is the reasons, what is going to happen. Like when you have any auspicious thing, you boil the milk, isn't it? And then if it is curdled, you'll get paneer, and you can make sweet sort of paneer, right? So this is how this is the thing. What do we understand from that? How is he looking at the battlefield? He's very much anxious. He's very much worried. Why? You can see that he's very much worried, and because he will lose the kingdom. That is his worry, and he wants the kingdom for his sons. So he's doubtful. And why is he doubtful? Because the war was taking place in Kurukshetra, and it's a place of pilgrimage where only the right thing, what is dharma only, will be win, and whoever is doing sinful dharma will never win. So he was worried, and it is a place of dharma. And he will think, because you might have Bhishma, Dronacharya and all that, but in spite of all that, he's still doubtful of getting victory. And his fear, because why he's fearing? He was unfair to his brother's children. And why he was unfair? Because he was attached to his sons, and he was attached to that crown. He wanted that crown to be himself, and he wanted to pass it on to his son. He was attached to that. And partial mentality of me and mine. Only mine should be there and thing, and he was not. So this was his mindset. He was doubtful, fearful, and partial. So this is how, and we can find such people even in this today's world who are always, this is mine and this is thing, and that's how they are attached to their material things. So attachment versus affection. You can have affection for your family, but you can't be so attached to it that you even go to the extent of doing sinful activities. So that is what it comes out from his attachment. We can understand. This is the thing. Attached, they must be attached or to be affectionate. So we are always oscillating in these two modes of thing. Then, so, and why there is a relation between dissatisfaction and adharma, isn't it? Why is he dissatisfied? Here we see Dhritarashtra was dissatisfied with his life. He was born, okay, he was born blind, but he was in the palace. He was given, taken care of so many things. He had a good wife and he had children, and he was in the very comfortable place. But still, that dissatisfaction was there in his heart right from his young age, because of his being physically blind, and he was not able to rule, and he could become the king only after his brother's death. He was only a caretaker, and that is a root cause for all that sinful activities he was supporting. But if he had rightfully handed the throne to Yudhishthira, what would have been the result? Hare Krishna. There won't have been any war itself, isn't it? Okay. So now let us look at Duryodhana's reaction. Pashyatyam Pandu Putranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Yudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyana Dinata. What is he saying? He's saying, "Oh, my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada." So he's coming and running round. He didn't expect them to have arranged such a military galaxy there. So he was taken aback. He was all the time, he is very confident. Why? Because Bhishma Dev is there and Dronacharya is there, and he have all the weapons, and so yes with him. So he was very confident, and now he was taken aback to see the army arranged by the sons of Pandu. And that too, who was the general there? It was the Drishtudma, the son of Drupada. Now he comes to Dronacharya and points out, saying, "Your disciple, the son of Drupada," he doesn't even mention the name, Drishtudma. He says, because he knew Drupada and the Dronacharya had some misunderstanding, no? So in fact, Drupada had, he wanted a son to, will be the cause of death for Dronacharya. In spite of knowing all that, Dronacharya had trained him, had taken him as disciple and trained him. So he is now pointing out, see, you have done this, and now he is there opposite to us, trying to fighting in the on the side of Pandavas. So you can see how he is fearful, because he is not depending on his own strength. He is depending on the strength of the others. So he's like a politician. The way he comes and talks to Duryodhana is like a twin. And he has done all type of sins. Like he gave poison to Bhima. Then he tried even arranged a house of Lac so that it can be set ablaze while they slept. And he tried to attack them with deadly weapons. And they cheated them in the dice game and occupied their land. And also kidnapped the thing. Whatever you mentioned, all these 6 type of thing they have committed. And that is there, the fear at the back of his mind. Okay. And now, when he comes and he's been having this talk, that time Bhishma Dev will blow the conch shell to encourage him, because this cannot go on the conversation. So the blowing of the different conch shells became uproarious, and thus vibrating both in the sky and on the earth, it shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So this is observed by Sanjaya sitting in the palace. So both the sides of the armies, they will blow their conch shells. That is how they start the war, And he could see the sons' expression, the way they were scared, their eyes, he could see it. And that shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra, because they knew this is the end for them, because Krishna is not with them. Okay. So, and this is one battle where it is, we all know what the Pandavas will win, isn't it? And we all know Pandavas won the war. And it was right from the beginning, it was very clear. But there were a lot of signs which could be made. It was signs for Pandava's victory. That is Dharmashetra. Because it was a place of Dharmashetra, then the chariot was given by Agni Deva to Arjuna, divine chariot, and they had Hanumanta Kapida Dvaja and Shankanada, because the conches were blown by Krishna and Arjuna were transcendental, and Arjuna had Gandiva. Then Takta Jivata, they are people who had come to fight. They were ready to lay down their lives. That is either get victory or die. And it was a Mokshada Ekadashi, and Bhagya Lakshmi will be there where Krishna is. And Krishna itself is there, so Rishikesha. He is also known as. Okay. So these are the signs were clear right from the beginning. Who will win the war, right? So Sanjaya observes everything and he is indirectly telling the king. Now we come to Arjuna's reaction. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up." So all these signs, Sanjaya is seeing. That is, limbs are trembling, mouth is drying up, whole body is trembling, hair is standing and Gandiva bow is slipping from his hands, skin burning. All these different symptoms was observed by Sanjaya and he was narrating it to the king. And why these symptoms is not that he is scared or is worried. He is more compassionate because he couldn't understand. Okay, you sit in the palace and you sit in the thing and you are arranging for the battle and all that. These people are here. Those kings have joined Duryodhana, and all that you have arranged, you have planned and you have come. But actually to see them on the field, that was he couldn't take it because he was very confident. He says, why we have to come here to fight and kill all these people? All of them have come here and sure to meet their death. So this was a symptoms of stress which was described. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom or happiness. He says, after killing them, if I get a kingdom, what is the problem? What is the use? And there won't be any happiness there. So he says, what is the use of coming here and trying to kill our own people, not anybody else? Like his own grandfather is there, his teacher is there, and his friends and his cousins and all on the other sides are also his relatives and his friends at that time, and they all are there. And he thinks, what is the use? I won't be happy killing them. And also he says, the sin will overcome it. Papam evashya asman atvaita atman. We slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? How could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? So he is now addressing in different names, Madhava and all that. He says, how I can, it will be sin. I mean, he knows the scriptures. He knows what is right and what is wrong and all that. And still, now he's asking Krishna how sin will overcome us if we slay our own guru, our own grandfather and all that. And with the Kulakshaya Pranashanti, Kula Dharma Sanatana, Dharme Naste Kulam Krishna, Adharma Abhish. With the destruction of dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished. See, when all the elders are all that, see, normally only the elders are there here in the battlefield, right? And children and women are not. They all will be in the homes. They don't come to the battlefield. So when these people die, there won't be any elders in the family to protect them. And the family tradition will go vanquished and the rest of the family become involved in religious practice. So he says there will be Kulanashta because no one there to guide them or protect them. So now this verse comes in.
Bilbhavati Utha.
So this comes in the chapter 2. Now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? the sons of Dhritarashtra, whom if we killed, we should not get to live, are now standing before us on this one. So finally, he gets confused. He doesn't know whether this is right to kill them, to conquer them, or to be conquered by them. Finally, he comes to that indecisive mood. So what did we see? We saw that he was very compassionate, how they can, and he thinks there's no enjoyment in killing them, because then even if he gets a kingdom where there's no friends to enjoy, share the happiness, and it is sinful to kill your own guru and your relatives, even if they might be doing the wrong thing, but me knowing the religious scriptures is not, is sinful. And no elders, so family traditions will be lost, and the future generation will have no guidance, and we'll have unwanted population. So, and finally it comes to indecisive. So these are the reasons he gives to Krishna and says, I can't think, you only tell me. So we are going to see that in the next chapter tomorrow. Okay. And what is your reflections on this about Krishna Arjuna's reasons he has given it? And these are the things, such kind of situations, do you think you will get it in reality in our life today? It might not be a battle. It might be a battle. Father of Kauras, yes. So with this, so these are the things which is there in this chapter. We saw the 5 reasons. We saw the reactions of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, how they fight. Finally, things. So one Kim Akruta, why does Arjuna inquire? Bewildered and thinks. He is quite think. Was he lacking intelligence? Was he lacking skills or values or vision? So we are going to see that in the coming things. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. With this, I will end. Vancha kalpatra abhyascha, kripa sindhu evacha, patitam nam pavnebho, vaishnavo